This week on Horse of the West, Reigning's OG Derby.
The Derby, it's iconic.
A history-making event as reigners are the first to ride in OKC's brand new arena.
It's amazing, this facility, the Coliseum, it's incredible.
We'll check out the Open and Nonpro competition. Plus, Dr. Joe Carter in Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim.
We're going to talk about what I think is the most important bone in the horse's foot, the navicular bone.
That's coming up in this episode of Horse of the West. Welcome to Oklahoma City and the 2025 NRHA Derby. This is our first event in the brand new OG&E Coliseum. After 60 years, the legendary Nrha Arena, which has been the home field of reining for nearly 4 decades, is being replaced. Reiners have mixed emotions.
It was like bittersweet leaving the old one. You know, we've all shown in there for decades.
The history that happened in the Nrha, we will never forget, and I think that with the OG&E, we now want to make more history and have those historic runs and feelings.
The new arena is so nice. They did a great job with it. It's such a beautiful facility, so clean, so nice to be in. I'm looking forward to more and more years in here.
The NRHA Derby for horses ages 4 through 7 is making history of its own with a record total payout in 2025 of $1.7 million. In the NRHA, non-pros can earn prize money, and there's $180,000 on the line for the 36 riders in this championship final alone. Men and women compete equally here. In fact, the non-pro is dominated by women with only 7 men among the 36 finalist entries. Hall of Fame member and all-time leading non-pro Mandy McCutcheon says she's glad women are excelling in reining.
I also feel like when I put my foot in the stirrup, if I'm sitting on the right horse, I can beat any man. So, I try to tell myself that anyways. It might not be true, but I try to tell myself that because I don't feel like this sport, once you run through the gates, is man versus woman. It's me versus the horse and the dirt and getting the job done.
Youth riders are also making their presence felt in the final, including 15-year-old Sarah Johns of Comfort, Texas, who switched from ranch riding to reining 4 or 5 years ago.
There was a little lesson pony at the barn I was at that was supposedly an old reiner, and I just tried to do my best at 10 to get her to slide, and she slid maybe 2 feet, and then from then on, for the rest of my life, I'm like, that's the only thing I will ever do. That's the only thing.
Despite her young age, Sarah and 6-year-old Trasha Quick by NRHA all-time leading sire Gunna Trasha prove they belong in this elite company, marking a 2:20.5 to get things rolling. 2-time All-American collegiate equestrian Danny Latimer of Marietta, Oklahoma, is a reigning legacy. She grew up coming with her family to the old Nrha Arena that's now being torn down and hoped she'd get the same thrill in this new Coliseum.
Growing up in the Nrha, every time I'd walk in there, you just get a sense of excitement and what can happen, and I'm already starting to feel that in this one, so I think that's a good sign.
It helps when there's an enthusiastic crowd of reining fans and you're riding a horse like Eccentricity by $11 million sire Spook's Got a Whiz, a 4-year-old mare that started out under Danny's uncle, $2 million rider Dwayne Latimer. Danny took the reins just a couple of weeks ago, but they still managed a 2:21 here in Oklahoma City, enough for an early lead.
I wasn't very nervous about it just because the collegiate experience gave me a lot of chances to get on and go. But of course, Dwayne he's very strategic, so I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything to fit the needs of that mare to be successful here.
When Blair McFarland of Franklin, Tennessee was about Sarah John's age, she showed the mother of this homebred 5-year-old gelding named Sundrop. He's out of She's a Chickalina by $4 million sire, Hollywood's Tinseltown.
He's been really special to have since we raised him. We've loved him. We nearly sold him twice and they fell through, and we just knew it was like God telling us, keep this horse, he's supposed to be yours. And he exceeds our expectations every time we step in the pen. I mean, we just love him.
You don't have to wonder why. Sundrop earns Blair McFarland at 2:21 to move into a tie for first with Danny Latimer and Eccentricity. Now here is the greatest NRHA non-pro of all time. $3 million rider Mandy McCutcheon of Aubrey, Texas on the first of 2 horses she has qualified. This one is by $8 million sire Gunner's Special Night out of Spook's Little Princess. Mandy's already had great success on this gelding named Spookin' at Night, who's only 4 years old. They mark a 2:20 here in Oklahoma City.
I won Tulsa on him. I won the Congress on him last year. I was 3rd in the fraternity on him. He's just been a really great show horse. Like when he runs through the gate, he just tries and tries and tries really hard every time. So he's won like 83,000 or something already, so he owes me nothing. And so now it's just about having fun, and he does that.
Mandy McCutcheon, who's been champion of this event 7 times and reserve champion another 7, still has one more horse to go in the final. Here's Kim Muhlstetter now of Scottsdale, Arizona. She's a friend and competitor of Mandy's, has been for decades. Kim won her first NRHA Derby championship back in 2010. Mandy was reserved that year, by the way. Kim and Smoky Mountain Rain by Hall of Fame member Spooks Got a Whiz out of Spratt's Electric Spark are fresh off their win at the prestigious National Reining Breeders' Classic. Kim and the 5-year-old gelding nicknamed Buddy are also our defending champions here at Oklahoma City.
He really is a pure show horse. You know, when you're circling him slow after running him wide open in the big circles and just leave your hand down, and he'd circle 10, 15 more circles without thinking about it. Never leans, he's just fun. It's a once-in-a-lifetime horse, that's for sure.
Buddy, a.k.a. Smoky Mountain Rain, delivers up another big score for Kim, a 225.5, which is going to put her in first by a full 4.5 points. But there's a long way to go when we come back. The daughter of legendary Nonpro Jose Vasquez carries on for him while he recovers from some serious health issues.
It was emotional. I just wanted to make him proud.
Plus a little gelding who's big enough.
He's perfect. His name's Pee-wee, so we call him Perfect Pee-wee.
The finale of the NRHA Derby Non-Pro Championship and then the Open action coming up here on Horse of the West. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Horse of the West and the OG Reining Derby, the one so big they just call it the Derby. Non-pros in the NRHA Derby Championship Final are excited to be the first competitors in Oklahoma City's brand new OG&E Coliseum with its larger arena floor.
Well, I think it's easier to show. Things don't come up quite as quick, and I think it'll be easier for the 3-year-olds too.
Kim Muhlstetter of Scottsdale is in the lead right now on her great gelding, the defending NRHA Derby champion Smoky Mountain Rain with a big 225.5. Here to take aim at that lead is Mariana Vasquez of Markham, Illinois, by way of Mexico, daughter of $1 Million rider and Hall of Fame member Jose Vasquez. Jose's recuperating from some serious health issues right now, and with her dad finally well enough to be able to watch from the stands, Mariana takes a shot at the lead on a scion of her family's program, 6-year-old stallion SLJ Shine, out of their Hall of Fame stallion Smart Like Juice and Hall of Fame mare Winder Up Shiner.
Which my dad, he's done so good with, so being able to show one of them is hard to live by because, I mean, he won the NRBC, he won the Derby, so with full siblings, so I was just happy that I was able to mark something as high as I did today because it's the highest I've ever marked ever, so that's exciting.
And the score? A 225. Half a point short of the lead, but putting Mariana and SLJ Shine in the reserve championship spot, for now at least. Mariana's thoughts on the new arena?
I loved it. This arena has been really good to me.
Mandy McCutcheon earns a 219.5 on her second horse, a 4-year-old mare named Golden Knight Survivor. Now she's by Gunner's Special Night out of the mare Golden Survivor. Mandy's son Cade rode that mare to an NRHA Futurity Youth Championship. And then as an open rider, Cade won the Derby here last year on the son of a full sibling to Golden Survivor.
We like those babies out of those mares. Golden Survivor had 2 in the level 4 finals tonight.
Jesse Boyd of Scottsdale's riding a 7-year-old stallion named Gonna Be First by $2 Million sire Ark Gonna Be a Big Star out of Ark Wallace First. He told us at the NRBC he's been struggling to get past a score of 220, and he does that here in Oklahoma City, earning a 225 from the judges to move into a tie with Mariana Vasquez.
So my prelims was 222.5. That's the high. That's the first time I've ever marked over a 220, and then this is my highest ever, which is 225. So I would never have guessed I was going to do this tonight. it felt amazing.
He's not going to be first, but he still could be second. Jesse says the secret to his bigger score was being more aggressive in the show pen and riding his horse every day he was home.
We don't do a whole lot every day, but we do a little bit every day, and it's made a huge difference in that horse. He's so special.
Krista Marshall of Minot, North Dakota has been working her way toward the NRHA Top 20 for years and has finally made it, despite the distance from her home to the major reining events that are mostly in the Southwest. But that makes her score of 222 4 points higher than they scored at the NRBC just a couple of months ago. That much sweeter.
I love this so much. I feel like it's what I was made to do. It's just so fun to go out there and to hear the crowd and, to really ride hard and be one with your horse. And it's just such an honor to be here. And it's so fun to play big and, give it all you got. I love it.
Taylor Zimmerman of Springfield, Missouri is another former collegiate All-American equestrian who's been reining all her life. She's on Spooks DeVille by Spooks Got a Whiz. This is a 5-year-old gelding nicknamed Pee-wee. They earned a 219.5 in the prelim, but the score to beat here is a 225.5. The crowd senses an upset in the making as Taylor's ride builds to a score of 225.5 for the tie.
This feeling right here, the feeling of, having a good ride, there is nothing like it. It's humbling when you have rides that don't go good, and it actually makes me crave it more. So, I love horses so much. It's not even just the sport, it's just horses. I love them so much. So just being here is amazing.
Kim and Taylor opt to share the NRHA Derby Nonpro Championship title. They each take home nearly $33,000, plus the thrill of the first championship win in OKC's brand new OG&E Coliseum.
It's beautiful, and we're all so grateful to get to be in this building.
We'll see the 2025 NRHA Derby Open action when we come back with Horse of the West. Your Horse Inside and Out with Dr. Joe Carter is sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim.
The most important bone in the horse's foot, in my opinion, is the navicular bone. Not to say that the other major bone of the foot, the coffin bone, isn't important. We certainly see coffin bone injuries, but the predominant bone that gets injured in a horse's foot is the navicular bone. The navicular bone lies in the heel of the horse's foot, right down here, and it acts kind of like a pulley that the flexor tendon glides across. We frequently and most commonly see wear and tear injuries of that, but it is possible to have a navicular bone injury. One of the hoof and leg conformation issues that we see that predisposes a horse to navicular bone problems is a straight up and down pastern with a small foot and this broken hoof pastern angle. You can see where this is a short pastern, it's straight down into the foot, and then the foot goes this way and the foot's kind of small. That kind of conformation does set a horse up for those type injuries. Let's go take a look at an x-ray of a navicular bone and see what that looks like. Okay, when we're looking at a horse's x-ray of a bone, whiteness indicates hard calcified bone and darkness indicates bone that doesn't have calcium in it. That's kind of a simple way of looking at it. So the navicular bone is this boat-shaped bone. It's got a flat top and a curved bottom, looks like a boat. And right here between the bars of the horse's shoe, you can see this big dark area, which is an area of bone lysis, which is indicative of a bone injury. And when you see that in one foot and not the other, you can pretty much conclude that this horse has injured that bone. It's not a wear and tear problem, and you need to address your treatments, with that in mind. So navicular bone injuries do occur. I'm Dr. Joe Carter with Your Horse Inside and Out.
Before making any decisions about your horse's health, be sure to consult with your veterinarian. Your Horse Inside and Out is sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim. Be right back with action from the NRHA Derby Open Championship. Welcome back to Horse of the West and the 2025 National Reining Horse Association Derby, worth a record $1.7 million. Nearly $450,000 will be paid out to the 33 open finalists, $100,000 to the winner alone. It's all happening in OKC's brand new Coliseum.
I love it. I think it's gonna step up the game once again. I think NRHA futurity horses are gonna be at another level with a bigger size arena. It's going to be easier on the horses because I think you can take a little bit more time. You don't have to go through the middle so fast, and I think it's going to pay off. We're going to see huge scores at the futurity this year, and hopefully I'll be one of them to make it.
The scores have already been big here at the Derby, with 4 riders scoring 228 or higher in the prelim.
It is crazy. I show up on start the first day. I just did what he could do, was it bring me a 222.5. I thought I was easy going to be in the final, but I ended up last in there. But I made it, so I'm happy.
Among the big scores in the prelims are the horse and rider who are straight off a big win 2 months ago at the National Reining Breeders' Classic. NRHA $1 million rider Cole Price of Pilot Point, Texas, and the 5-year-old stallion Golden Coins, a.k.a. Zeus. The 5-year-old stud is by $3 million sire Spook's Got a Gun out of Electric Chick-Ching. Cole and Zeus earned a 229, the second highest score of the prelims, but they topped that by 1.5 points here in the final, earning a huge 230.5 from the judges. Cole knows he's set a high bar, but thinks he left some points on the table with some great riders and horses still to go.
Yeah, I mean, this horse is a show horse. He loves it. I missed my first side stop. I didn't get him out ahead of me, and just fingers crossed, but he was fun. I'm happy either way.
This next horse and rider won the 2025 NRHA Futurity, the biggest event in the sport of reining. Casey O'Rourke is on Peter and Courtney Morgan's The Fireman by $4 million sire Inferno 66 out of Red Hot Walla. This is his first show since the Futurity.
We gave him a really long break after. What a group of great horses to compete against. Older horses, other 4-year-olds, whatever. A really, really great group. So I'm really proud of him to come back as a 4-year-old, do what he just did.
Scottsdale's Andrea Fapani is an NRHA Hall of Fame member and the highest earning rider of all time in the NRHA. This is a Rhodes River Ranch horse named Trashin' Your Dreams by the NRHA's all-time leading sire Gonna Trash Ya out of the $1 Million Dam. This chick's done dreamin'. Andrea showed this 7-year-old for the first time a couple of months ago at the NRBC. He says he's figured out this horse is an overachiever who has benefited from Andrea backing way off in his training and preparation.
We did a lot of slow things at the beginning with new cues, and I think it freshened him up a little bit just because it made him use his brain a little bit, something new, and he wasn't just going through the motions. And then here, just preparing him, I just kind of slowed everything down, and it paid off.
Andrea and Trashin' Your Dreams earn a 229. $4 million rider Jason Van Landingham from Whitesboro, Texas, is a multiple champion at this event, and he's on a horse that finished 4th here in Oklahoma City at the Derby last year. Plus Me, I'm Shiny is by NRHA $4 million sire Colonel Shining Gun. Jason says he's one of the biggest stoppers he has ever ridden, so his approach is pretty simple.
Just go be clean, let him do his job, stay out of his way. So I put a big drape in the rein and let him do his thing, and really there's nothing in his run I would have changed.
Jason and Plus Me I'm Shiny were edged out of the NRBC Championship by Cole Price and Golden Coins, who were going to finish ahead of them again here in the Derby, this time by 1.5 points. Jason joins Andrea in a tie for second with a 229. Andrea's back on a horse he has loved from the very beginning, but who's been a little slow to mature physically. Terry LeFew's Hypnotized by NRHA Hall of Fame member Spook's Got a Whiz. The 5-year-old stallion finally had a breakout performance at the Cactus Classic this spring.
And we always had great go-arounds, but never really stepped up in the finals. And then this year he came out as a 5-year-old like a different horse at the Cactus. We were reserve champions. We marked at 228. And NRBC stepped up again, and even here tonight.
Here in OKC, Andrea and Hypnotize earned a 227 and are tied for third with Casey and the Fireman. So NRBC champions Cole Price and Golden Coins are still at the top of the scoreboard with that big 230.5. But $5 million rider and multiple Derby champion Casey Deary still has 2 horses to go, the full brothers we featured in our coverage of the NRBC.
That's a great family of horses.
But the stakes have changed dramatically for the owners of one of those 2 horses. We'll hear how and share a special moment in the reining family when we come back. You're watching Horse of the West.
Oklahoma Equine Hospital, now with standing MRI, magnetic resonance imaging without anesthesia.
It's very easy to use on the horse. You walk them into the room and then let the machine do its work. Safe, easy, accurate way to diagnose lameness, and it's a huge asset to the performance horse. It's a game changer in the performance horse industry.
Oklahoma Equine Hospital with standing MRI off I-35 south of Norman, Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Horse of the West and the finale of the record-setting $1.7 million 2025 NRHA Derby. Cole Price and Golden Coins, known as Zeus, are sitting first in the Open Championship with a big 230.5. Now, those two just won the National Reining Breeders' Classic, where $5 million rider Casey Deary rode a couple of full brothers in the final, both by NRHA Hall of Fame member Magnum Chick Dream out of the mare Gonna Be Custom. The Palomino Stallions were both bred by Devin and Jolene Warren of Franktown, Colorado, who own the dam. This is the younger of the two, a 5-year-old named Custom Dreams, now owned by Custom Dreams Brazil. He and Casey, who's a multiple champion of this Derby event, laid down the highest score in the prelim, a 229.5. They aren't able to match that in the final, coming away with a 227, leaving Cole and Golden Coins in first. But the older of the two Palomino brothers, Customize My Dream, a 6-year-old who marked a 228 in the prelim, catches fire in the final ride of the night. As Casey works through the pattern, the reigning family is well aware that much more than the title is on the line. The owners are in the crowd with their teenage son, who just received a very serious cancer diagnosis. A win and half that $100,000 first place purse would be a godsend for the Warrens right now, and their stallion delivers, earning a 233.5 for the win.
That's a great family of horses.
This is a great time for the Warren family to get a win.
There you go. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That's special families of horses for a special family of people. And then it's great to have Garrett here to get to watch that. So it's special on a lot of levels.
It's been such a struggle for the last 3 months with my son being sick, but God's great.
Garrett Warren rides the aptly named Customize My Dream for the stallion's first major award ceremony.
Tonight, everything lined up. I had the great draw and the good ground and the crowd behind me, and I'm sure that horse's story has gotten out to a lot of people. So just a really special time for that horse.
And for his dam by NRHA Hall of Fame stallion Gunner out of Custom Made Dunnett by Hall of Fame member Hollywood Dunnett.
The mare's been incredible. She only has 7 in the pen. I think we were at 864,000 before tonight. So this, between the two of them, could have just put her over the $1 million mark. So that's been incredible.
That's it from the 2025 NRHA Derby. Be sure to check out our YouTube page for more Horse of the West content. I'm Jennifer Reynolds. We'll see you next time.